Hello and welcome to Economics Unit 2, page 11. All right, so first cross out time deposit. And just a heads up, there's going to be a number of pages we're going to be skipping in this packet. 12, 14, 15, 16, and 18. There are a few others, but just letting you know right ahead, we're skipping a bunch in the earlier part of the packet. So cross out time deposit and let's get going. So this is your introduction to savings and the different ways that you can save. To define it, savings are the setting aside of income for a period of time so that it can be used later. There's 5 things you need to do. This is part of that data collection portion that you need to figure out before you comparison shop and then commit to a decision. First, determine your reasoning to save. What is your goal? What are you trying to get? What are you trying to achieve by saving? You don't want to save just because it's something you're supposed to do. If you don't have a goal, you're probably not going to do it because you just won't understand why. Determine the amount of funds to set aside, as in how much do you need to save. You know what you're trying to get, find out how much you need to get it, and determine that. That's the second step. Next, decide what type of account you will use. That's the purpose of the next few videos in this class. Decide frequency of deposit. So how often are you going to put money into this account and when are you going to invest it? How often and when? As it have a date, not just say twice a month. Yeah, twice a month sounds good. Okay, when are those 2 months? Nail it down. Have a specific date so you can hold yourself accountable to it. So, shopping to save. Remember, shopping isn't just buying. Shopping, when you're using rational choice, is about making sure you're spending your money the best way possible with the least amount of opportunity cost. So opportunity cost involves trade-offs. The trade-offs that you're going to have to decide what you're willing to cut and what you're willing to give up, what you're trying to get, which is more important than the other things. Those are your trade-offs are minimum balance. Is that something you're willing to accept? If yes, how much of a minimum balance are you willing to take or accept? Accessibility, how easy it is to get the money back out of the account. That can make a big difference on how much it pays out. What are the interest rates? How much return, how much money you're going to get back for making the investment? And finally, how safe is it? How risky is it? Is there a possibility you could lose money on the savings account? So first, we're going to look at your basic savings account. Anyone can have it, even if you're under 18. These are extremely safe. There's no way you're going to lose your money. Technically, there's a way, but you're not going to have to worry about it. They're safe. They're extremely safe. They're very accessible. You could put $1 in now, come back an hour later, pull it out again. 2 minutes later. I mean, there's very, very few restrictions about when you can put money in and when you can't and when you can take money out. It's really easy to use. But trade-off is very, very low interest. Okay, you're going to get almost nothing back. You'll get something. It's not a complete waste of your time, but you're going to get very little because these are very cheap and often free savings accounts. So because they're so easy to use and they're so safe, no risk, so cheap, you're not going to get very much in return for putting your money in. Not saying it's not worth it. If you don't have much to invest, well, maybe this is the only choice for you. And the very low interest of return is just something you might have to accept. Next is money market deposit accounts. These are very safe. There's not very much risk, but they're less accessible. Okay, you're not going to be able to just deposit and pull money out of them whenever you feel like. The interest rates, though, tend to be much, much higher than your basic savings account. So the investment is worth your time much more so than a savings account. However, they can be very expensive to maintain. There's an initial cost, upfront cost, that not everyone can afford, which means not everyone can get their foot in the door with this type of account. If you don't have much money right now, this is the kind of thing that the higher interest rate could be the trade-off you give up by not choosing this account until later on as you've built up enough savings in other ways to be able to take advantage of this possibility. Time deposits. Most of these are usually called certificates of deposits, or CDs for short. These are very safe. Chances of you losing your money, extremely low. However, there's almost no accessibility. You cannot at all pull your money out before a time that you agreed upon when you bought the certificate, when you invest in the deposit. Could be weeks, could be years. It won't be a surprise. It's not like you don't know when you can get your money back, but you can't pull it out early. As opposed to, say, a regular savings account, you could put your money in now, pull it out 2 minutes later. I mean, it's completely accessible. But with a time deposit, whatever time you agreed upon when you bought the deposit, you bought the certificate of deposit, you can't get it out early. So if your car needs a repair, if it's invested in a savings account, you ain't getting much interest, not much profit, but you can get the $100 back if you hit an emergency. But with a time deposit, sorry, no matter how bad the emergency is, you cannot touch that money until the time that you agreed upon has come. Why would you do this? Because once that time has come, that means your deposit has hit or achieved maturity, and you get a fat interest rate return. You get a lot of money back. These can be very, very profitable, but the trade-off is you have to give up that money, give up access to that money for a long time before you get it back. And that's it. I'll see you in the next video. See you in class. Thanks. Bye.